Subscribe. I still can't go live yet. Yeah, you can't. I couldn't go live for I think it was 2 weeks. They told me 30 days, 30 days. Listen, flip, flip, flip. Stop playing with your hands while you're yelling. Come on, why'd you have them jump? I didn't have nobody jump. So why'd you touch me first? You touched me. You smacked my hand. What? Gimme that. Come on, Flip. Stop. Again? Again? The tension rises instantly. Chaos brewing before the real storm even begins. This is absolutely shocking. Just when everyone thought Yandy Smith-Harris and Mendeecees were enjoying a peaceful getaway in Mexico, things took a dramatic and unexpected turn. So dramatic that it ended with Mendeecees in handcuffs. Yes, you heard that right. What started as a fun, relaxing trip with their fellow cast members quickly spiraled into a chaotic, all-out brawl that left fans stunned and confused. Eyewitnesses say the tension had been brewing for days, but no one saw this explosion coming. One moment, Mendeecees was laughing and vibing with the group, and the next, chaos erupted. A heated argument turned violent in seconds, and before anyone could step in, fists were flying. The atmosphere flipped from tropical paradise to pure madness. And the most shocking part? Local authorities didn't hesitate. They stormed in, and right there, in front of Yandy, Mendeecees was arrested. Now everyone's asking, what really caused this fallout? Who was the cast member involved? And most importantly, what happens next? Stay tuned, because this story is only getting started. Mexico. Sun-kissed beaches, luxury resorts, and crystal blue waves. Everything looked perfect as Yandy Smith-Harris, Mendeecees, and their castmates arrived for a much-needed escape. The trip was meant to mix business with pleasure. Some filming, some rest, and a whole lot of peace. Fans were thrilled, watching their favorite couple finally unwind, far away from drama. For a moment, it felt like life had slowed down. Smiles, laughter, and calm vibes filled the air. But beneath the sunshine and cocktails, something was quietly brewing. Whispers, side glances, unspoken tension, the kind that starts small but grows fast. No one noticed it yet, but the peace wasn't going to last. Because while everything on the surface looked picture perfect, the storm was already forming underneath. And soon, that paradise would turn into pure chaos. What started as a dream vacation was about to become a nightmare no one could forget. At first, everything seemed normal. The group laughed, shared meals, and enjoyed the sun. But slowly, the atmosphere began to shift. Small disagreements turned into subtle jabs. Side comments became louder. The smiles? They didn't feel real anymore. You could feel the tension in the air, heavy, sharp, impossible to ignore. And right in the middle of it all stood Mendeecees, trying to keep the peace. But every word, every look, only added more fuel to the fire. Something was clearly off. Even Yandy could sense it. The energy was strange. Like everyone was pretending everything was fine while secretly waiting for someone to explode. Cameras kept rolling, but the laughter was forced. Then came the breaking point. A single argument. A careless remark. And suddenly, that quiet tension snapped. Voices were raised. Accusations flew. People stood up, pointing fingers, shouting over one another. What started as a calm evening turned into a storm of anger and emotion. And in that moment, no one could stop what was coming next. The line had been crossed, and there was no going back. And then, it happened. The moment everyone feared. The argument that had been simmering beneath the surface finally exploded. Loud, raw, and unstoppable. Mendeecees snapped. His patience was gone. Words turned into shouting. Shouting turned into chaos. Chairs scraped, people moved fast, and the tension hit its breaking point. Someone tried to intervene, but it was too late. The energy in the room had shifted completely, from heated to dangerous. Eyewitnesses say it was like watching a storm tear through the calm. Drinks spilled, tempers flared, and for a few terrifying seconds, no one knew what was about to happen next. Yandy, frozen in shock, could only watch as the situation spiraled out of control. The cast, the crew, everyone around, stunned into silence. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, security stepped in. But by then, the damage was done. What started as a shouting match had turned into a full-blown confrontation. The vacation was officially over, and for Mendeecees, the consequences were only just beginning. Moments later, flashing lights cut through the chaos. Sirens echoed across the resort as local police stormed in, responding to the disturbance. The scene was tense, surreal, like something out of a movie. Guests stood frozen, phones out, recording every second. Mendeecees, still furious and shaken, tried to explain himself, but the officers didn't wait. They moved in fast, giving sharp commands in Spanish, their voices firm and unyielding. Yandy stood nearby, her face pale, disbelief written all over it. She kept shouting, "It's not what it looks like!" But no one was listening. The officers surrounded Mendeecees, restrained him, and before anyone could intervene, the cuffs clicked shut. Gasps filled the air. Cameras captured the moment. Mendeecees escorted away under bright resort lights, while Yandy's eyes filled with tears. The party was over. The laughter was gone. And just like that, paradise had turned into a public scandal. The rest of the group watched in silence, too stunned to speak. That single moment changed everything. The trip, the show, and possibly Mendeecees' entire future. Silence followed the chaos. The music stopped. The laughter disappeared. All that remained were whispers and shocked faces. Yandy Smith-Harris stood frozen, trying to process what had just happened. Moments ago, they were celebrating under palm trees. Now, her husband was in police custody. The air felt heavy, filled with disbelief and confusion. Cast members huddled in small groups, arguing about what went wrong. Some defended Mendeecees, saying he was provoked. Others blamed him, claiming he went too far. The tension didn't end with the fight. It only grew stronger. And with cameras still rolling, every second was captured. No hiding, no second takes, just raw, painful reality. Reports say Yandy spent hours talking to authorities, trying to get answers, but the damage was already done. The headlines were everywhere within hours. Reality star arrested in Mexico brawl. Fans flooded social media, demanding the truth. What really happened that night? Was it a setup? Or did Mendeecees truly lose control? Whatever the case, one thing was clear. Their dream getaway had turned into a nightmare that neither of them could escape. By the next morning, the story had already exploded online. Every major gossip outlet, entertainment blog, and fan page was talking about it. Hashtags like Tandy Mendeecees arrested and Yandy breaks down were trending within hours. Clips from the incident spread like wildfire. Grainy footage showing shouting, chaos, and that shocking moment when Mendeecees was led away by police. Fans were divided. Some stood by him, insisting the whole thing was blown out of proportion. Others turned against him, calling it yet another reality star meltdown. Meanwhile, Yandy stayed silent. No posts, no statements, just a few cryptic story updates that left everyone guessing. Insiders claimed she was devastated, trying to handle the situation privately while the world watched. Sponsors started pulling back, production went on pause, and the network refused to comment. What was supposed to be a fun, relaxing trip had turned into a full-scale PR crisis. And as the rumors kept spreading, one haunting question echoed through the media. Was this the end of Yandy and Mendeecees' perfect image? Because this time the cameras didn't save them. They exposed everything. Cameras didn't save them. They exposed everything. Hours later, reality finally hit Yandy Smith-Harris. The cameras had stopped, the crowd was gone, but the pain stayed. Alone in her hotel room, she broke down. The strong, composed woman fans always saw on screen was gone, replaced by someone heartbroken and exhausted. Sources say she couldn't stop replaying the moment Mendeecees was taken away. One second they were laughing. The next, everything fell apart. She kept asking herself, how did it get this far? Friends tried to comfort her, but nothing helped. The pressure, the humiliation, the fear, it all came crashing down. Her phone buzzed nonstop. Reporters, producers, even family back home, all demanding answers. But Yandy had none, just silence and tears. Meanwhile, footage of the arrest kept looping online, amplifying her pain. Every click, every comment, every headline made it worse. The world was watching her lowest moment, and she couldn't do anything to stop it. For Yandy, this wasn't just a scandal. It was personal, a heartbreak that played out for millions to see. Days later, the real story began to surface, and it was even more shocking than anyone imagined. According to inside sources, the explosive fight wasn't random at all. It had been building for weeks. Hidden tensions, secret conversations, and jealousy among cast members had created a ticking time bomb. And that night in Mexico, it finally detonated. Reports claimed another cast member provoked Mendeecees, throwing out a personal insult that hit deep. He tried to walk away, but the words kept coming, cruel, targeted, and public. That's when things snapped. Witnesses confirmed he didn't start the fight, but once it began, there was no stopping it. Even producers admitted they saw it coming, but didn't step in soon enough. And now, the question everyone's asking, was this all real, or was it manipulated for TV drama? Some say the cameras were rolling intentionally. Others believe it was pure, unplanned chaos. Either way, the truth is out, and it's messy. What was supposed to be entertainment turned into devastation. And for Yandy and Mendeecees, the damage might be beyond repair. After days of silence, Yandy Smith-Harris finally broke her silence, and her statement stunned everyone. Sitting down for an exclusive interview, her eyes were swollen, her voice trembling, but her message was firm. "I'm tired of protecting everyone else's truth," she said. "This time, I'm speaking mine." She explained that the trip was supposed to be healing, a reset for her and Mendeecees, but instead, it turned into a public nightmare. She didn't deny the fight, but she revealed that things were far more complicated than what the cameras showed. According to Yandy, certain people had been stirring drama behind the scenes, trying to push Mendeecees into losing control. And it worked. She called out the manipulation, the setup, and the lack of accountability. Her words were raw, emotional, and real. Fans flooded social media with support, praising her courage for finally speaking up. But even with her truth out there, one painful question lingered. Could their marriage survive this level of public chaos? Because sometimes even love can't fix what fame destroys. Not long after Yandy's emotional statement, Mendeecees finally decided to share his side, and his words sent shockwaves through social media. In a calm but heavy tone, he posted a video message on Instagram, addressing the chaos head-on. "I take full responsibility for how I reacted," he began. "But don't confuse my reaction with guilt." His message was clear. He admitted losing his temper, but he refused to let the world label him as violent or dangerous. He revealed that the fight wasn't about ego or fame, it was personal. Someone had crossed a line, bringing up private issues that should have never been made public. He described the moment as a trap, claiming that producers and cast members fueled the drama for ratings. Still, Mendeecees didn't hide his regret. "I should have walked away," he said quietly. "I know I hurt people I love." Fans were torn. Some praised his honesty, others doubted his sincerity. But one thing was certain, this wasn't just a reality TV scandal anymore. It had become a fight for reputation, redemption, and truth. As both Yandy and Mendeecees shared their sides, the internet erupted into chaos. Fans were completely divided. Some stood firmly with Yandy, calling her brave for speaking up and exposing the truth. Others defended Mendeecees, saying he was unfairly portrayed as the villain. Twitter threads turned into wars, Instagram lives turned emotional, and YouTube commentators analyzed every detail of the footage frame by frame. Everyone had an opinion, and no one agreed. Even fellow celebrities began weighing in, some offering sympathy, others throwing shade. The drama had spilled far beyond the show. It became a cultural talking point. Memes, reaction videos, and conspiracy theories flooded timelines. Was it all scripted? Was the network using them for ratings? Or had fame finally destroyed what once looked like a perfect love story? No one really knew. All that was clear was the damage, emotional, public, and permanent. And as the noise grew louder, both Yandy and Mendeecees seemed to retreat into silence once again, realizing that sometimes Defending your truth only makes the world twisted even more. Behind the scenes, the drama didn't just shake the cast, it sent shockwaves through the entire network. Executives were in panic mode. Meetings were held around the clock as they debated how to handle the situation. Should they defend their stars or distance the show from the scandal? According to insiders, producers were furious. Some blamed the editing team for letting the tension go too far, while others accused Mendeecees of ruining months of production. Contracts were suddenly under review, and rumors spread that certain scenes might be pulled before airing. But deep down, everyone knew the truth. Controversy sells. Despite the chaos, the network saw the numbers. Views were up, engagement was skyrocketing, and every headline was free publicity. So, while they publicly claimed to be investigating the incident, insiders leaked that executives were quietly preparing to center the next season around the fallout. For them, it wasn't just drama, it was opportunity. And as Yandy and Mendeecees struggled to rebuild their image, the show that made them famous was already turning their pain into profit. Weeks passed, but the tension never died. In fact, it only grew stronger as the network announced a special reunion episode, one that promised to reveal everything. Fans went wild. Social media exploded with predictions. Would Yandy and Mendeecees face each other again on camera? Would the truth finally come out? Behind the scenes, producers were working overtime, making sure every cast member showed up, especially the ones at the center of the chaos. Security was doubled. Emotions were high, and everyone knew this wasn't going to be a normal reunion. Yandy agreed to appear, but sources said she was hesitant, worried about being ambushed or misrepresented again. Mendeecees, on the other hand, stayed silent, keeping fans guessing until the very last minute. When the official teaser dropped, showing Yandy wiping away tears and Mendeecees walking onto the stage, the internet lost it. This was no longer just a TV moment. It was closure, confrontation, and confession all wrapped into one. The stage was set, and the world was ready to watch it all unfold.